peace. So today is Wednesday. Today is Mercury Day, so I have my emerald green on, supporting the frequency of today, which is about communication, clear communication. And clear communication doesn't have to be verbal. Clear communication could be within your body. It could be through your face, facial expressions. It could be clear communication, could be touch. Clear communication could also be vocal. But today, clear communication, I want to gear this towards clear communication with the body and what the body is communicating with you. So I had this epiphany the other day when I was on the treadmill, right? And I thought to myself, if you really pay attention to our bodies, well, our ancestors back in the day were usually sleeping on the floor, were always into movement. They were always squatting, which grounds you into the earth. And now we can barely squat because everybody's complaining about how fucked up their knees are, right? Okay, and how they can't get down to the ground. So I know, all jokes aside, but this is real. This is the communication of the body and what we are physically, emotionally holding on to. And so where you feel stuck, my epiphany when I was on the treadmill, every movement that we make is straightforward, right? It's very linear. And again, this is just my observation and my own journey in my life, but I do feel that every movement that I make is either linear or I'm always sitting down at a desk, right? Or we're walking straight, we're walking forward. You never see anybody walking backwards. You never see anybody moving side to side. And so the body becomes programmed into the only moving forward. Therefore, your physical body only holds on to the muscles that are needed in order to move forward. So when we begin to flow and move our body in a way that our body is not used to, that is when we begin to feel the density and the tightness of the muscles and the fascia that is not being used within our bodies. And not only that, the memory that is being stored within those that is not allowing us to be more fluid. Now here's the thing. When we are in a space of tightness, it doesn't allow things to move and flow and spiral, right? Everything in this life has a pattern to it, and everything has a circadian rhythm to it. And when we're only focused in a very linear direction, we end up losing or cloaking the insights of what our body is truly trying to communicate, because we've basically numbed those other parts that are actually really screaming out through tightness and inflammation and pain, and so I know oftentimes, we kind of get into this state where we want to take medication and we want to go to the chiropractor and we want to go to a physical therapist. All of those physical modalities will release at one point and then contract again, because this is not just about the physicality of our lives. This is about the mental thoughts and the programs over the years that we've experienced that have now been a pattern and a program within our bodies. And so just going to a 30-minute session and looking at things through the physical lens is not going to harness the longevity of your body being able to feel and move and, be in wholeness with itself again. Unfortunately, this life that we live has taken us away from that, because when it takes us away from that divinity and that sovereignty, then you have more people that are in their power and that are more centered. So what ends up happening, come on, throat chakra, you got this. Throat chakra's clearing out. So what ends up happening is your nervous system, your vagus nerve, are always in an active response, right? And because you begin to move in certain dynamics of your body now that your body is not used to, it's gonna pause and it's gonna hurt for a minute, but you have to breathe through it and begin to expand and stretch out all of these elements through awareness of where the stuck energy is, and then also the mental capacity and the vocabulary. As we know, we speak about this all the time, your words are casting spells on your body, to be able to not force it, but to be aware of it and then move through it gently with movement, right? And to be able to be still and to activate and speak to your cells and your body and your blood and, you know, your nervous system and your vagus nerve, your mitochondria, like all of these things in your body are here to support you. And believe it or not, even through the tension and the pain, your body is still supporting you by protecting you from a program that you are holding onto, to an identity that you are holding onto. And so you can't just look at yourself as this physical vessel. You really have to look at yourself as this computer program that is constantly uploading and downloading information, uploading new versions. Then you have to do an upgrade. And this is constantly what we're doing. We're building this platform of ourselves that begins to have no choice but to dissolve the tension and to dissolve the old programs and to dissolve the old identities that were causing us to be stuck. Now, in order to move forward into the life that you desire for yourself, you cannot take any of this with you, which is why, as much as we visualize the things that we desire in our lives, which is still a beautiful thing to do, we're not getting enough momentum to get us into that space a lot quicker, because we have all of this density in our bodies that is holding on. And so it's just taking us longer to get there. Not to say that we're never going to get there, because at the end of the day, this all is still your reality, right? You still have free will, you still have your choices. So whatever you choose in this moment, you are creating that future self that already exists in this present moment by what you're thinking and what you're instilling in yourself. Got it? Bear with me now, because I'm on a roll. So what ends up happening is, as you begin to release, all right, like I mentioned before, I lost 21 pounds or 22 pounds now. And I started at 195 and now I'm at 172. I'm noticing within myself, because all of that 22 pounds was not just weight. It was old identities and programs that were stuck trying to keep me safe, because my nervous system always thought that I was in fight or flight. So it wanted to hold on to these things. It was protecting me. All right. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, you're losing your ass and you're losing this. And I know, because in this society, we think that the thicker, the better. That's fine. But if it comes with depression, the nervous system being all jacked, inflammation, always being sick, on freaking, diabetes, right? And in front of people, you feel great. But when you're at home, you look at yourself in the mirror and you don't feel good, then all that thickness has to go out the door. And you really have to begin to harness holistically in your life the things that are going to begin to eliminate, because it's not just fat, it's emotions, right? It's a storyline that you've been holding on to. And so I think you have to come to a point, or we all have to come to a point, where we're done servicing the external aspect of ourselves and begin to live in that somatic field of being able to honor what is truly within, and to be able to create a new personality, because your personality creates your personal reality. Therefore, whatever it is that you're currently experiencing now, you have created it from your personality, right? So now you're living your personal reality. And in order for you to shift to another paradigm of yourself, you have to release the density that you have been carrying with you, mentally first, emotionally first, and then physically. And so getting in tuned with that and being gentle with this process is going to take time. Now, I am a doer. I'm either fully invested or I'm not invested at all. There is no in between with me. So this journey has been very invested, because I want to be the greatest version of myself, and I do have control over that. So I don't pay attention to the things that I can't control, and I don't make excuses for myself. I pay attention to what I can control and be patient and then just allow that to, I then allow that to determine what my healthy weight is going to be for me. So I have completely done a whole regimen. As I mentioned in my other video, I have a whole routine that I do from the moment that I wake up in the morning with just stretching my my psoas, my sacrum, just honoring my body, stretching out those parts of me that feel stiff, from making herbal teas for myself that get rid of the inflammation, and just kind of go through a liver detox. I've been doing that as well, and I will in another video kind of go through the step-by-step of what my daily routine is, because this is literally every single morning and evening. So then, of course, I have all of my liquid vitamins that I take, my B12s, my vitamin D, my vitamin K, and all of those. And then I do my shakes after I work out. But most of it is all chia seeds, hemp hearts, seeds, and maca, and the list goes on and on and on. Cacao. Then I have my smoothie, so, and then I do 1 meal a day. And if I do 1 meal a day, especially the days that I do strength training, it's usually only going to be veggies, all veggies, and maybe some veggie pasta for a little bit of carbs. And then it's chicken. That's basically all that I eat, just like some grilled breaded chicken sometimes. And then I stop eating at around 2 or 3 o'clock. And then from there, I'm in a fasted state. So when I wake up in the morning, and then of course, when I come home from work, I'm still get back on another tea. I take my magnesium, 600 milligrams, because that calms the nervous system and it helps me to sleep. And I'm traveling in the ethers, just enjoying my little freaking wings, my black wings. And yeah, and then I wake up feeling refreshed and I go back to the same routine again, So this is consistency, and this is why I've been able to get the results. But again, it's wholeness and balance, right? Wholeness of knowing your energetic field, knowing that all is frequency and vibration, knowing that the physicality is the work that you still have to give to yourself, knowing that you have to be disciplined and change your regimen, knowing that you have to have this season of really just going hard on wanting to transmute your dense energy back into light again, and yeah, it's just a process. It really is a process, and you have to be patient. You really have to be patient, and don't worry about the results. The results have no choice but to come, because you are being very intentional in the direction that you want to see yourself. And of course, visualizing, a lot of my results have also come by visualizing myself being 165. I'm already that chick already. You know what I'm saying? It's waiting for me to show up for myself. So yeah, this is a powerful life we're living in, and I'm wanting to share this with you guys now. I'm gonna start, getting some time before I get ready for work, so that people out there just need to hear, just to confirm that you are powerful and you are mighty, and you have the tools to be able to give yourself whatever it is that you desire. It's just a matter of noticing your patterns and a lot of the things that you're experiencing that aren't yours, and being able to disassociate so you can focus on what is yours and all that you are, So yes, if you guys want to do a one-on-one session with me, I hate the word healing. I'm going to be doing somatic sessions, somatic alignment. I don't like the word healing because I don't feel like we're broken. I think this is just an awareness of energy. An awareness of oneself. A wound, a cut needs healing. It needs you to put a band-aid over it. We're not broken. We don't need healing. We just need awareness. So you guys can DM me for a one-on-one session if you just want to talk over the phone, what you're experiencing. We can kind of go through what it is that you need. Of course, what works for me isn't going to be 100% your pattern, but being able to recognize where it is that you can, get assistance. And then I'm just the medium, just here to remind you of how beautiful and how sovereign, we all are. And yeah, so you can DM me, YouTube. You guys can just get into the comment section, and then just let me know, if you're interested. All right, so you guys have a beautiful day. The fit for today for work. You guys know black is my favorite color. It's just some stretch pants and this cute top. These are my shoes, my flats. And then again, some emerald for Mercury energy today, green. And my grandmother's ring, she passed. Her and I had the same birthdays, so I'm kind of supporting, I'm supporting her energy, wearing her with me. So peace, guys, and let's do better with honoring our sovereignty. All right?